Authorities just announced that everyone is accounted for after an explosion at a nursing home. Here's what we know tonight. The blast and fire tore through the Silver Lake nursing home in Bristol around 2:15 this afternoon and injured 20 more on Tower Road. Firefighters rushed to rescue elderly residents trapped inside the partially collapsed building. The official cause of the explosion is still under investigation tonight. CBS Philadelphia's Nikki DeMentri is in Bristol for us tonight. And Nikki, you spoke to people who ran into the building to rescue loved ones. Tell us more.
Yuki, we did, and we heard from quite a few of them. But just for situational awareness for everybody watching at home first, that nursing home, we should say what's left of the nursing home, is about a block away from where I'm standing right now. And it really sits in the middle of a residential area. So when neighbors heard that loud boom and that blast, some of them ran straight to the area to help. It's an explosion that quite literally shook an entire neighborhood in more ways than one.
I ran out. All my neighbors came out. All of our neighbors were saying, "What was that?" I said, "Something exploded. It sounded like a bomb."
Gertrude Montgomery's backyard has a clear view of the collapse site following the explosion at Silver Lake Nursing Home.
Whole side of half of the building was down. I'm sad, heartbroken. These people here, you know, you're in your bed, you're thinking you're fine, you're in a nursing home, you're safe, and this happens.
Willie Ty lives a few doors down.
When I heard that kaboom, my wife and I said, "Honey, something went wrong."
Moments later, he tells us he ran over to help, actually going inside the burning building several times. His brother-in-law is a longtime resident at the facility.
Through rubble and everything, yes I was, trying to get people out, helping people get out.
Ty says he didn't think twice about his actions.
The Lord told me to help these people. Couldn't be me, it could be my wife. And, you know, we never know, people need help all the time.
Tonight, he is thankful his brother-in-law and other friends he knows who live there are alive.
I thank God you're still here. I thank God I'm still looking at you, but we all still here. But I just ask God, just keep these people safe.
And we want to say again, the police chief here tells us everyone is accounted for. And we talk about the community and neighbors going over there to help. Well, actually, just about 5 minutes before we went live with you all, a local restaurant in the community came over here to donate food to those first responders still here on scene. A lot of people want to help and make others just feel a little bit better during this time of tragedy right now, Yuki.
Time of tragedy indeed. People helping people. Nikki, thank you so much. And now we turn to Dan Snyder, who has more on the first responders and their heroic actions, as well as today's support from Governor Josh Shapiro. Dan?
Yuki, good evening to you. A really shocking night for folks here in Bristol Township. Catastrophic, as Governor Josh Shapiro put it just a few hours ago. We now know that that explosion that tore through the Silver Lake nursing home has left at least 3 people dead and injured nearly 24 more. Now, firefighters raced to that scene, that explosion scene, at around 2:19 this afternoon. The fire chief told us part of the first floor of that building actually collapsed into the basement. Firefighters were busy pulling people from the building, handing them off to police officers who were then rushing them to get medical attention. Crews also dealt with what they described as a secondary explosion and fire in that facility. Now, as catastrophic as this night has been, officials praised the work of first responders and people in the community, all who rushed in to lend a hand.
They pulled many residents out of the building via windows, doors, stuck in stairwells, stuck in elevator shafts.
These officers, firefighters, EMTs, nurses that came from the hospital, we called over docs. We went into that building with a structure that was still in the situation of collapse and gas odors.
I would just ask all Pennsylvanians to join Lori and I in prayer for this community, for those who are injured, and for those families who are about to celebrate Christmas with an empty chair at their table.
Now, the Bristol Township Police Chief tells me that at this time they do believe everyone is accounted for. As for the cause of this explosion, we do know PICO crews were on scene just before that blast. 4 reports of a gas odor. An intensive investigation is now underway. For now, live in Bristol Township, Dan Snyder, Yuki will send it back to you.